Hi, and welcome to On the Spot. My name is Ronnie Wiley. To my left is Linda Fitzgerald. Linda, you do so much for Fayette County. Thank you for being on the spot. So today we're going to talk about a lot of things, but first we're going to talk about Healthy Fayette County, which encompasses a lot of things here. So let's talk about that.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for
You're
asking
welcome.
me, Ron.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Healthy Fayette County is an initiative of the Seven Mountains Group.
Yes.
And we just kind of facilitate different programs that we see a need for in the 7 key aspects of a thriving community. So Healthy Fayette County is one of them, primarily because our health rankings have been so poor. Yeah. We are coming up. We were 92 and 92 health factors, health outcomes. And so we were 92 and 92.
Yeah.
Now we're 90 and I think 91. So the whole idea was to begin to get the community aware of that and how it impacts not only growth economically, but growth just demographically. People don't want to live where it's not a healthy environment.
How do you gauge that? How does that get gauged? How does here's a healthy county compared to an unhealthy county. Like, how does that get gauged?
Well, I think it's the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation that does the rankings. So they're looking at a lot of different factors: diabetes, cancer. We're high on cancer. We're high on diabetes. Our highest percentage, and they compare that to the state of Indiana. So we're highest in, it's a certain kind of death, and I can't think of the exact name for it, but it's not just deaths that relate to overdoses, but it's like young people dying perhaps of cancer at an early age. So that's one of our highest.
We have that?
We have
one of the highest of cancer?
No,
we know about the overdoses.
We have a high ranking in cancer, diabetes, obesity.
Thank you, Linda. Appreciate you bringing that up. It's true. It's true. Yeah.
The only reason that I'm not there anymore is due to some
Healthy Indiana. You're healthy.
Well, we won't go into the reason why, but so those are all things that impact. We still have a high rate of smoking, and as an ex-smoker,
me too.
You know, I'm encouraged with people suddenly realizing, oh my, we need to do something about it. Yeah. Also, depression is high. Yeah. Just our whole mental health issue. What that relates to, I don't know. Right. And it isn't just recent. It's been for a while.
You know, when you think of depression, when you think of things like obesity, to me, I look at it, well, this is a personal thing that I have to deal with. I don't necessarily look at it as like a county-wide thing, but there are contributing factors to that would lead to somebody's depression, that would lead to maybe obesity. Poverty is one of them. Lack of jobs is another. Certain things like that can lead to depression, broken families. A lot more than just of course, mine is I got to not eat as much and eat healthier, and I'm aware of that. What other factors have you found that leads to? How much? Let me put it this way: how much can a county or a city or a town or residents do to help become healthier? Other people healthier?
Well, and a lot of what Healthy Fayette County is looking at. We started with walking. Yeah. And the reason we started there is it is an activity that almost everyone can do. Right. And so we looked at a collaboration with the Art Association because their art gallery is open the second Friday of every month with a new exhibit. Right. So if we got people walking a couple of blocks, coming down, building a sense of community, we have wonderful sidewalks downtown, getting out, getting active, introducing them to the arts. I'm amazed at the number of people said, we have an art gallery.
Yeah, yeah.
And so We chose to do that because that's the simplest and easiest thing to do. But part of it is making people aware.
Right.
And you ask about what leads to obesity.
Yeah.
It's called fast food. a lot of it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It's a culture in our society that we've become used to.
Yeah.
And if it takes more than 5 minutes to get from the giving your order to paying and getting your food, it's like, and I do it too.
Right,
I thought this was fast food.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so there is a movement nationally to have more healthy restaurants that have drive-ins to make that just as available as, I'm not mentioning the fast
Names,
food,
yeah.
I'm not mentioning names for a reason, but there's a push to do that.
Yeah.
Because I think nationally,
Right.
we have an issue.
Yeah.
Obesity nationally.
Yeah. It's funny you say it because when we were talking before we went on the air, we were talking about our overseas travels. And, John had mentioned something about Italy. My dad had mentioned when he was in Italy, they knew Americans by their obesity. They were easily pointed out, and, I love pasta. I would love to go to Italy and eat up all the pasta. And my dad said, when they gave him his pasta plate, he was like, what am I, a kid? The dishes were so smaller, but they seem healthier. Even eating pasta, they seem healthier and skinnier.
And guess what they do? They walk.
Yeah.
Because when I was in Rome, one of the trips to Rome was with a friend from southern Indiana, and we were doing a familiarization tour. And after dinner, which dinner is usually 10 o'clock at night.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's Europeans
Because they
eating
don't
much
get up
later.
in the morning and they don't have breakfast. And so we would walk, and we would walk almost the entire city, and we walked from downtown, which is basically kind of the Spanish Steps, all the way back to our hotel out by the Vatican. And that's several miles, and didn't think anything about it. 2 o'clock in the morning, and people are out, and they're friendly, and they're waving, and no concerns about being mugged or anything. Sound like I'm promoting Rome.
Right, yeah, right.
But
No,
what
we're
I'm
healthy
saying
Indiana.
is they walk.
Yeah.
And even though there's good public transportation, and you don't want to try to drive in Rome, and so they do drive, but they also walk. And
Yeah.
that's just part of it's part of their culture.
Yeah.
But it's also part of they see people on the street they know, or they stop and chit-chat.
Yeah.
Particularly if they recognize that you're an American, they will stop if they speak some English.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so Europe, and the United Kingdom seems to be more in tune with getting out and being active.
And so we as Americans need to adopt some of that to be healthy. And that's what you're bringing to Fayette County, is to, do the little things. Walking, people can look at walking, well, it's kind of boring, especially if you're walking in a circle. Put your earbuds in, listen. But you're combining walking with something that will benefit the city by introducing people to the Whitewater Valley Art Association, to maybe some businesses downtown that they weren't aware of, to Connersville as a whole, opening up to that. When did that start?
Well, we actually started in April.
Yeah.
Last November the 2nd, Seven Mountains sponsored a wellness. It was actually turned out to be a workshop.
Yeah.
And so out of that came a leadership team, and we began to meet and look at what can we do from a healthy standpoint. And it is so huge that we just said, okay, let's just walk. Let's get people walking. Well, I really can't tell you, Ronnie, how we got connected to the art gallery piece.
Yeah.
But someone mentioned the art gallery being open for an exhibit the second Fridays, and I said, hey, we have great sidewalks, new sidewalks downtown.
Yeah.
Let's have an art stroll. So we started that in April. We had 30 people register. We do register people because we have a giveaway, and we want to build a database.
Sure.
And eventually, and that's upcoming this fall, to get a walking group or a walking club or clubs going. There are a lot of people who walk. You see them out. We have some great walking trails besides Nickel Plate.
Right, sure. Yes, we do.
that people can do. But that's how the art stroll started. And talking about in Europe, it's not at all unusual to come into a public square or piazza and find artists set up and people stop and look at them. So we wanted to kind of create that same
Yeah.
atmosphere or environment
Yeah.
in a couple of blocks downtown.
So again, like I said, lots of benefit for a lot of people. What are the age of those who have been walking?
Well, it's pretty much left of, no, right, I guess it would be,
Yeah.
50.
My age.
so-
Yeah.
And what's interesting is when I say there isn't anybody that can't do it.
Right.
This last month, we had a couple. The woman was in a wheelchair
Yeah.
and just so excited about
Yeah.
being there. Her
Yeah.
husband pushing her. They came and registered, and we were thrilled. We did take their picture.
Yeah.
Neglected to get permission to publish it.
Right.
So we can't use it until we do that.
Right.
But they were very excited about doing
Yeah.
that. So it proves to us who are working on this that anybody can do it. We do recommend that if you haven't been active, that you check with your physician and make sure. It's a 2-block walk. It's not. I mean, I can do it with my 3-wheeler.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't, because I'm at the registration
Right.
table. But we were thrilled with that piece.
Yeah.
Ask me about what's coming up.
Thank you for that. That's a nice segue. What's coming up?
Okay, well, in September, this coming Friday, actually tomorrow, we have young artists.
As of the taping. Yeah.
Yes. We have young artists from St. Gabriel's that are going to be demonstrating what they love, and people can stop and converse with them
Yeah.
and see what they're doing. One of them is a photographer,
Yeah.
and she's going to be taking photographs. So right now we know that there are 4 confirmed. There may be as many as 6. So they will be between 5th and 6th Street.
Yeah.
Some of them in front of the Foundation building, others down in front of the Oasis. Then in the 4th to 5th Street block, we will have the CHS Jazz Band
Oh, wow.
from 5:30 to 6:30. And from 6:30 to 7:30, we will have the new community band.
Well, yeah, they practice what every
Every Thursday, I think it is.
So
And
this is just more than just walking, gazing. You're being entertained as you're walking.
absolutely. Oh, and 2 other things. Stan Howard,
Yeah.
who was with us in August, who strolls and sings and tries to get
Yeah.
people to sing along with him,
Yeah.
enjoyed it so much, and we enjoyed him, so he will be back.
Yeah.
And then a young woman who is the granddaughter of one of our leadership team members is going to do sidewalk art.
Wow. Yeah.
So this month is we have a lot going on.
Yeah.
October is going to be, with the permission of the Board of Works,
Yeah.
a street dance
Oh, wow.
with
Wow.
some surprises.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Which, how does somebody get involved in this? Because this is something that, again, you said it was right of 50 or up north of 50, the age people that go. But this sounds like something that could be a family thing, that families can
Absolutely.
come and do this. The family that I guess exercises together, stays together. So this is something that because you got the jazz band from CHS, so those are high schoolers. This sounds like a great event. The genesis was just to get out and exercise?
The genesis was 4 things, and let's see if I can remember them.
Yeah.
Okay, to get out and moving,
Yeah.
to build community,
Yeah.
to come downtown,
Yeah.
and to learn about the arts.
You remember? Yeah. Yeah.
It's all, well, we used to have, and this sounds a little elitist,
Yeah.
but I'm going to say it anyway. There's all sorts of culture.
Yeah.
And we used to have the Cincinnati Symphony concert series when the execs with Vistion, or all the way back to Ford,
Right.
were in town. They were used to that from Philadelphia,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh out east. So we had that end of culture.
Yeah.
And that has kind of died out. And so we want to bring some of that back because
Yeah.
there are people in the community who really enjoy that.
Right.
And in July, the Indiana artisans, Hoosier artisans,
Yeah.
were at the art gallery, and they were amazed. First of all, they were amazed by the gallery,
Yeah, right. It's a nice gallery.
and then they were just really shocked by the fact that we had combined it with an art stroll.
Yeah.
And we're so appreciative of Tracy Burns and the people
yes.
with the gallery who are so good to work with.
Yeah, yeah. Did the interview with you guys there for the News Journal.
Yes.
I was amazed. And I knew we had a arts association. I had never been in there before, and being in there, you can't help but get caught up in the talent that not just here in Fayette County, which you guys feature, but from the area, from the surrounding counties as well. They want to share their art with us as well, and it's very, very. For me, you saw me. I'm just looking around. You get caught up in it. And we have some very talented people in this community.
We do. We
incredibly
really do.
talented, yeah. And how does somebody get involved because I can probably rattle off 3 or 4 people that I know that are incredible artists that live here in Connersville that I would love to see them display their stuff. How does somebody get their stuff displayed in the art gallery?
I think to talk with Tracy, who's
Tracy.
president of the Art Association, and Sharon McQueen then oversees the gallery.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of classes that people can. I used to do some oil painting, and I like to put it on with a palette knife, so it got a little pricey to do that. But, excuse me, I knew that was going to happen. So I think talking with Tracy is a good thing to do.
Yeah, I'm a stick artist. That's about all I do is draw stick figures. I mean, the only art I know how to do is cry on stage. That's about all I could do. I can't sing or draw anything.
I think you asked me about getting involved with Healthy Fayette County. We would love to have people meet with the leadership team and pick up different pieces of it. I have to give buku gratitude to my co-leadership, Sarah Rathburn with Communities That Care, who does yeoman work. She'll be there at 4 o'clock tomorrow to set up, and she just does an amazing job. The leadership team meets the second Wednesday of each month between 2 and 3. We try to end in an hour, and it's what we call a hybrid. So some of us meet personally, face to face, at Soldiers in the Army of the Lord, building 2635, I believe it is, of Iowa Avenue, and the others join us via Zoom. So it makes it easy to do that, and we'd love to have more people. November the 9th, we will be doing a day, well, it'll be throughout the day, because we're also partnering with the Parks and Recreation Department. So with Marla Steele and Lauren Newcomb, who's the sports athletic director. And on November the 9th, we will do a lunchtime presentation for business and industry leadership, because we want to get them involved in it. You know, you can say to your employees, during your break, go out and walk around the parking lot. Or during lunch, take your lunch outside and walk around the parking lot. So, and the trails are the areas where we will promote are safe to walk, need signage, need some art and different things like that. Then in the late afternoon, 5:30-ish, will be open to the community. And there will be, so we'll do some education pieces. We'll do some interactive kinds of things at the table to talk about health and wellness in the community as well as walking. And then there will be vendors there with health-related information that they can gather up. And Reed Health is doing pedometers.
This is amazing how many things you guys have you're involved with.
Our fingers.
Yeah, well, yeah, fingers. Yeah. So I was getting ready to say I was getting ready to do that. You know, things that you guys get involved in, and it's all to improve Fayette County, not just us individually, but the county as well. Because as I grow older, I realize as healthy as our county is more. We did talk about the depression. Being in a depressed city with nothing to do, that can really hamper us. And having things to do like this that may not be like bright lights of New York or whatever, but still here in our community have something to do other than be depressed and get out to meet new people. And that's what it's about, collaborating. I'm sure you've met a lot of interesting people in your journeys.
We have, and what's really interesting about the art stroll, we've had a number of people from outside the community. They come to one of the restaurants downtown to have a meal, and they look over and they see it, and they come over and they say, "What are you doing?" And we tell them, and they say, "Oh, fine, we'll do that."
Yeah.
And so, and they enjoy it and say, "We'll be back." And we've had people that come back. And we have had young people and young couples. There was one young couple, and they won the gift card for that month. I think it may have been July. And they had 2 strollers, 2 kids in each stroller, and they must have walked miles to complete, because we did a scavenger hunt.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And Sarah put that together, and it was really neat, and everything was on your phone.
Oh,
and
that's
so
neat.
so things like that are fun. For people say there's nothing to do in Fayette County.
Right.
There are all sorts of things to do.
Right.
There's Alquina Park has an
Right, that's
upcoming
very neat,
event,
yeah.
and they're doing great things out there, and they have a walking path.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, they do.
there are things out in the county. We're not ignoring the county.
Right.
We're our Facebook group says Connorsville-FC Walks.
Right, yeah.
Join the movement.
Yeah, right, yeah. And so, you talk about nothing to do. I mean, we got so many things. Imagine performing arts. We have, and is your fingers in that too? I mean,
No. No, I did John Connor Players.
Oh, yeah. I've worked with most everyone there at a different playhouse, and I really haven't done anything here, and I need to do that because they're all my friends and very talented people, very, very talented people. So again, lots of activities coming up. We got November 9th, but the 13th of October is the next stroll, if I remember right.
Yes, you are correct.
So
they're all exciting, but that's
Right.
going to be really exciting.
tell me about why that one's really, really exciting.
Well, first of all, we hope the Board of Works will be kind enough and allow us to close off. Originally we thought about 5th to 4th,
Right.
but people who want to come for the street dance, we want to make them walk.
Right? Yeah.
So
get healthy.
I think we'll maybe close off 5th to 6th. So and there's electric along there for the band. So having a street dance gets people active, but those of us who no longer dance because we do rollators and things like that.
Well, you can dance with that, can't you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that I would do it publicly.
Right,
Let's put it that way. But what I'm saying is, people want to come and watch and listen to the music, and the group is kind of headed up by Rick Coleman, and it's a group that has come back together. I believe their name is now Rubber Soul, S-O-L-E. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
They do 70s and 80s music. And they reached out to us and said, could we play in October? Yeah. So we said, okay, let's do that and have a street dance. And then there's some other exciting things that are planned that we're keeping us secret. Of course, they have to be a secret.
Yeah. Any vendors that will be there to, our stuff, like setups at the street.
You want to do that for us?
I can, sure, if I can help you out. Yeah.
Wonderful, because we don't really we haven't set anything up. Braden and his brother have been great about having the general store open.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And that's such a beautiful area. That's
Yes,
so
it is.
well decorated now. And so we really haven't gotten that far yet, believe it or not. I mean, things just kind of, we say this is what we need, and we reach out, and it just kind of comes together.
It seems like when we do put on community events, the community really embraces the events. And that's one good thing about Connorsville that we do. We do have people that really do embrace community events like that. And I'm liking the idea of a street.
The street dance?
Yeah.
Well, we tried to do it one time. I think it was 2018, and for whatever reason, it didn't work.
Yeah.
People didn't. It was going to be in the courthouse parking lot, and that was not nearly as exciting as dancing in the street.
Right, yeah. Dancing.
And so we hope there is a home football game that night.
Yeah.
But still, we hope that a lot of the young people will come, and the people who do know about the secret stuff are really excited because it's
exciting.
it's fun.
So again, you have your hands in a lot of things, but everything is about bettering Fayette County. How long have you been involved with everything? I mean, and what got you involved in the first place?
Well, I came back home in 2000, and I worked a few months for a nonprofit, and then did some private practice. And I don't handle not having anything to do, and I gave up housekeeping a long time ago because it's just no fun.
Right, sure.
I mean, you do it, and the next day there's still dust on the table.
Right, yeah.
So and a former employer used to refer to my skill set as city skills. And so I thought I can do, and I enjoy development. I'm a person who likes to take a big piece of cloth and pin on the pattern and cut it up and have a finished garment. And that's sort of what community development is. And it keeps me youthful mentally. It keeps me going, and so I'm trying to think. Oh, I went to a workshop that Purdue put on in 2015, and we started Fayette County Women's Voices from that, and so got involved with that and facilitating that piece. And when I left that, thought I would truly retire, and then decided that was not a good idea. So,
Yeah, right. Yeah, sometimes people say you're busier when you're retired.
well, when you
know.
live in a small house,
Right,
I mean, it's like
Yeah.
what does it take, you know? And I now only cook for one, so
Yeah.
I might as well
I
keep
cook
my
for-
fingers in pots.
I cook for one, but eat for 10. So, which I gotta get healthy and cut that down to maybe 5. Rounding up, getting close to time. Again, got a lot going on, and you are a definition of somebody who loves their community.
I do.
And I would almost guess by talking to you the many times that I have is that you're not just preparing you're preparing the foundation for the future as well.
That's it's called legacy building.
Yeah.
And so we want to do that, is to, and the thing about Seven Mountains, because we're such a small core team, we see ourselves as getting the plates spinning,
Yeah.
and then making sure that there are people to take over and keep the plate spinning.
How does somebody get involved to keep those plates spinning?
Oh, well, they can get in touch with me. Be
Yeah.
happy to have them do that.
Yeah.
And I won't give that information publicly, but just you can find me on Facebook.
Yeah. Find Linda on Facebook, and I tell you, you do a lot. I wish I had your energy and your creativeness and your drive and your love. I think we all have some. A lot of us have a love for the community, but love and action are two different things, and you have the action with that. Any final words about Fayette County?
Just come join us for the art stroll. This is a wonderful community, and a lot of great things going on. It's sometimes hard to get the word out. I've been told that Channel 3 is the best way to get the word out to the broadest base of people. So come and join us. If you're interested in being part of moving the community towards healthier rankings, there's no reason why we can't give Carmel a run for the money. Carmel is number one.
Right. Yeah.
Give them a run for the money.
What a comeback that would be.
Wouldn't that be a comeback?
That would be a comeback. Well, this is your second time. Maybe you'll come back for a third time. Linda
Hope so.
Fitzgerald. God bless
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Ron.
you, Butch.
Appreciate
And we'll
it.
see you next month on The Spot.